All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, you have to go back to the end of the 1989 MLB season to find the last time that Keith Hernandez suited up in a game for the New York Mets. But his legacy still resonates with the fans that are old enough to remember his contributions to the franchise. Hernandez spent 7 years playing with the Mets, and the crown jewel of his time in Flushing came in 1986 when he helped the franchise win the World Series. Now, while in a Mets uniform, Hernandez won 6 of his 11 gold gloves at first base, while also being a catalyst for the club during his time there. For more than 15 years, Hernandez has contributed color commentary on Mets broadcast on SNY, but he got the ultimate honor today when the franchise retired jersey number 17. Now, during Hernandez's time with the St. Louis Cardinals, he wore number 37, but upon his trade to the Mets in 1983, that number was not available as it was already retired by the Mets for former manager Casey Stengel. But make no mistake about it, that this is an honor that was bestowed upon Hernandez today, and a big one. But more importantly, it was long overdue. In less than 2 years as the owner of the Mets franchise, Steve Cohen is in the process of changing the culture around this organization while also righting the wrongs of Fred and Jeff Wilpon. You think about recently what Cohen has done, the Tom Seaver statue, long overdue. Retiring Jerry Kuzman's number 36, bringing back Old Timers Day, and then finally today, retiring Keith Hernandez's number 17. Former Mets players more than ever feel welcome to Flushing or Port St. Lucie for spring training, which is a testament to Cohen. You have these former players that have played for the Mets, and they want to come back and they want to be around this and they want to be around the current team and to help these guys be better and potentially win a championship. But getting back to Hernandez, as this day is all about him, he's now in the Cardinals Hall of Fame. He's now in the Mets Hall of Fame, but he also belongs in Cooperstown. You think about it, 11 straight gold gloves at first base. Nobody has done that at that position in Major League Baseball. And you think about some of the greats over the years that have played that position. Keith Hernandez stands alone. He's a 5-time All-Star. He was a 1979 NL MVP. He shared that honor with the great Willie Stargell. 2,182 career hits, a 296 career batting average, and he was also a 2-time World Series champion. He helped the Cardinals win in 1982, and then, of course, the Mets in 86. But unfortunately for Hernandez, that Pittsburgh drug trial has hung over his head rightfully, I would say. And you know what? It's one of those where this guy belongs in the Hall of Fame. And I think sometimes you have a situation where people want to hold something against you. And the bottom line is, this is something that should not be held against Keith Hernandez. I mean, it's long overdue that he gets into Cooperstown. Should have been there already. And you have a new crop of writers out there who are getting votes, and hopefully they will see it upon themselves to do right by Keith Hernandez and put him in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Will he ever get to enjoy that while he's alive? I hope so. That's the bottom line. I mean, he definitely needs to be there. You think about some of the things. He was a wizard at base with his glove, arguably the best defensive first baseman ever. You think back to his MVP campaign in 1979. He batted 344, had 48 doubles that year, drove in more than 100 runs, was never a big power hitter, but he always had a knack for making the clutch hit. You think about that Mets 86 run, some key hits during the LCS against the Astros, of course, also some key hits in the World Series as well. You think back to what he did late in Game 7 to get the Mets going when they had the bases loaded and get on the board against the Boston Red Sox. And then, of course, the rest is history. But nonetheless, the bottom line is you have to give people their flowers while they're alive. And credit to Steve Cohen because he's doing that not just with Keith Hernandez, but a lot of other Mets legends. It's unfortunate that Tom Seaver was not around to see his statue unveiled, but you still got the honor to have Jerry Koosman in person to retire his jersey. You obviously had the honor today to have Keith Hernandez there to retire his jersey. And of course, the fans really appreciate Keith. Of course, there were some fans in attendance today that were too young to have remembered Keith Hernandez's career, playing career, that is, but they definitely know him from his time in the booth for SNY. And of course, some people always want to reference back to his several appearances on Seinfeld. But nonetheless, great honor today for Keith Hernandez. Steve Cohen is doing right by this franchise and getting things turned around. This is what it's all about, laying the foundation, honoring the legends that have contributed to the success of your franchise. And this is what Steve Cohen is doing. He's building piece by piece, he's changing the culture, and also he's paying homage to those past and present who have done solid things for this Mets organization. So a big honor for Keith Hernandez. And like I said, hopefully he doesn't have to wait that long, or much longer rather, to hear his name potentially get enshrined into Cooperstown. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take the time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. You can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off, saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.